All right, we're doing a flat top today. I'm gonna do pretty tight to the side and pretty low, almost horseshoe. Bring everything up. Well, let's get into it. I'm gonna start with a typical high fade. I always start my fades with a 1.5 as my base and blend and fade in from there. But we're not gonna be blending into the length on top, leaving that as a base. You want to take everything just below the parietal. And with this kind of a flat top, you want to go directly through the back. You don't want to curve. You don't want to follow the curvature. I'm going to try to keep that line straight through. My skin line. I don't like using product when I do a flat top until the very end when I go for the shape, like the final shaping. What I do like to do is cut all the unnecessary hair out of the way. So we have some additional length that we do not need all through here. So just to make our life easier, go ahead and start cutting this down through the center. Doesn't have to be pretty, just has to be gone. Careful to leave the front alone. We're going to do that by hand with the clipper later. I'm going to start from the apex and work back if you're going to do this. The prongs in these are great at grabbing hair and sanding it up. So with just the hair damp, you're going to use the scrubber to grab the hair and begin to lift it, directing the hair upwards. No product, only water. Just agitate the hair, get it to stand up, stand out. What I like to do, depending upon how short the client wants it to the top, I will run a clipper guard straight through that area. So today we're going to do a 2-guard. I'm going to start at the apex and come completely back. All of this completely gutted. Perfect. And this will serve as my stationary guide for the rest of the cut. Now we take our flat top comb and get in to the length of the hair. Get in, grab the hair. You're gonna bring it completely up and flat. Then take the clipper and run it across. All the way down through both sides. It's okay to leave a little extra length if you want, just to give you some breathing room, like that. Kind of overextend it up until you can get that shape, more of it down. And something I have found to help, if you can, find something that is level in the distance and use the comb at that point as a way to level yourself. It's going in, grabbing the hair, lifting up, using that level in the distance. Same thing with the front. Take it into the hair, ruffle it up, grab some length, bring it parallel to your stationary guide that you cut with the clipper guard. Now, it doesn't have to be precise yet. We're gonna go through with the blow dryer here in a few minutes. Now we're just debulking more than anything. Just making it so the hair will more easily stand up. Especially when you have a client with very thick hair. Drawing or painting a picture doesn't happen just once. You have plan lines and guidelines. You can see the shape starting to take hold. At this point, I like to go through the sides. So we'll go ahead and do that now. I like to take the comb completely vertical and just start very rough, removing any of the bulk that we don't need. Just working our way down.
I got friends that did it like once a week.
Yeah, it's fantastic. If you want, if they can you go with a membership with benefit and everything, you would say
Yeah.
membership.
Like I said, we're not looking for perfection yet. Just the shape. Learned a long time ago about flat tops is it's refine, refine, refine. Always refining the shape and the look.
How much is that on the single? The single?
So the single, like the single is $7.35. But essentially much cheaper than the
Saves you like $10.
That's right. And now
When you place the comb, try to keep it completely parallel to your client's head. Don't tip it. Don't let it go into the round. Keep it flat. That's starting to take shape more. now that the hair is standing more on its own. So again, we're going to use that clipper guard as our guide. Place back through here. Get the comb in there. Grab hair, lift it up, don't be afraid. I've seen people kind of go, oh, like this. No, get in there, grab the hair, lift. The flat top senses fear.
Hi, welcome in.
This is a good example of why I don't like using product early on. The hair will sometimes stick and grab, and if you have product in the hair, it's even harder to gather the hair up. Skin fade, 1.5 closed. And you start working it up. Or the 1 done closed, not 1.5.
I mean, you
Okay. One and a half closed. Gently working into that flat top region. We don't want to go much higher than that. We need room for the comb. Half guard. Open. Slowly working it down.
Looking good, looking good.
Ever open. Slowly work that down.
Dylan. Hey, bathroom.
Standard clipper over comb technique, but we're going more into that overhang because we have our fade line. Now we want to go straight up from that and maybe even pitch it in a little bit for right now. It's gonna go straight up. Yeah, we're gonna pitch that in, but for now, we're starting here. I like to give it a little shape through the front.
Yay.
Optional, freehand. If you're steady, you can shape that by hand. What I do is place my finger along the scalp to use as a guide.
Okay, fine.
One side down, time to do the next. Slowly close my hand. You can use the comb from other directions, like from the bottom or even to over direct, but just always remember to keep it within that operational range, keep it completely flat. You don't want to bend it out too far one way or the other. Slowly push it out, don't take shape. Slowly pull everything up. Pick it up. Small arms like this. Everything back flat out, just lower button. Feel free to walk around, get a better view. And everything's coming up to that center point, so over directing. side. Just picking up any last remaining pieces not fitting correctly. Freehand or use the one. Almost completely there. This is when I like to put in pomade.
Saturday and Sunday, but Mondays are security. They're for 20%.
Because you're not going to be able to cut every single hair. You can get most of them though. A little bit of that. This Gibbs's hair spackle.
Anything under like 70 degrees.
Yeah, just work it through the hair. Sure, like any product, work it through from root to tip. Otherwise, you're wasting your money. Use a little bit more of the hair spackle by Gibbs. Our final fix.
Shards in your eye. They just stop too fast. It's like you snap.